Good morning, everyone. I am very happy to see you again. It is very chilly here today. It's cold outside and it's chilly in the house. So I think today is the perfect day to light a fire and enjoy afternoon tea. And for a tea time treat, we are going to make a gingerbread bundt cake. Now, I have never tried this recipe before, but I will link it in the description box below. And the first thing I need to do for the cake is to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. Then I need 2.5 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm going to weigh my flour. Then we need 2.5 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, which I love, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspice. We also need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is regular table salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then we can whisk all of these ingredients together. I think this cake will be just perfect for this autumn day. It's the kind of weather that invites cloves and allspice and cinnamon and nutmeg. And we can set this aside. And in my mixing bowl, I need to add 12 tablespoons or 170 grams of room temperature butter and 1.5 cups or 320 grams of brown sugar, either light or dark brown sugar. I should have left my scale out. I could have just weighed the sugar. And we need to beat the butter and sugar together until they turn light and fluffy. Okay, this is looking light and fluffy to me. Then I need to add 2 eggs, one at a time. And I have put my eggs in hot water just to bring them to room temperature. Cold eggs don't blend into cake batters very well. We need to scrape down the bowl from time to time. The stand mixer does a lot of the work, but it doesn't do all of the mixing work. This batter looks fantastic, and I wish you could smell it. It smells just wonderful. Now we need to add a 1/2 cup or 170 grams of molasses. And I just sprayed my measuring cup with a little avocado oil so that the molasses will release itself easily. Well, that worked a charm. I want to give this batter another good scrape. Rather, give my bowl another good scrape. And then we need to add the dry ingredients, alternating with 1 cup of water. And I'm using room temperature water here. And fetch the bundt pan, which I need to spray with baking spray. Baking spray contains flour. I want to use this little pastry brush to make sure that I have coated every little nook in this bundt pan. There's nothing worse than having a bundt cake stick to its pan. Actually, there are many things that are worse than having a bundt cake stick to its pan, like forgetting ingredients. And in you go. This is a glorious cake batter. This goes into the preheated oven until a skewer inserted into the cake comes out clean, and that will take anywhere from 55 to 65 minutes. While the cake is baking, I'm going to get cleaned up here, and then I think we can tackle another project. As I said, while the cake is baking, I'm going to tackle some household projects that I have put off for far too long. For instance, I have a literal mountain of dinner napkins that I need to iron. It's the season for dinner parties, so I like to be prepared, have all of my napkins ironed and ready for use. Now, someone in the comments mentioned that they use starch on their cloth napkins because the starch repels stains. I had never heard of such a thing before, and I wonder if that is true. If it is, then I should probably start starching my napkins. And I would once again like to thank the very kind viewer who sent me not only these gorgeous blue and white dinner napkins, but also sent me this ironing board cover. Having a beautiful ironing board cover makes the job of ironing so much more pleasant. So if you hate ironing, just find yourself a very nice ironing board cover. You can probably tell that blue and white is my favorite color combination. I bought these blue and white napkins on Amazon. I love them. And I can link them in the description box below if they are still available. And I should mention that as that cake is baking, it is filling my entire house with the wonderful perfume of pumpkin spice. It's one of my favorite fragrances. Now we can tackle the purple napkins. I think I bought these napkins at a local shop called American Pie. It's in Chatham, New York. You and I have visited that shop in previous episodes. They have a lot of fun things. On to the green. And I wanted to say that I personally do not consider ironing napkins as any form of drudgery. I just consider it home beautification. I feel the same way about, well, dusting, mopping, vacuuming, anything to make my world look as clean and as peaceful as it can be. And these are the neutral colored napkins that you and I bought together last week when we were creating a centerpiece for the dining room table. And we made that trip to Home Goods. Home Goods actually had a very nice collection of napkins. And our ironing is complete. I'm going to put these napkins away, and then we need to check on the cake. I just tested the cake with a skewer. It is done. And it smells amazing. It did not rise as much as I thought it would, but on the other hand, this is a very large bundt pan. I need to let the cake cool for 10 minutes, and then we can unmold it. Meantime, looking at the recipe here, I want to make a glaze for the cake. And for the glaze, I need 1/3 cup, or 74 grams, of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. I also need 3/4 cup, or 150 grams, of regular granulated sugar. Give this a whisk. This is a very simple glaze. Now, to make this glaze possibly more interesting, I'm going to add a tiny amount of gold luster dust. We've used luster dust before in other glazes. How much I need? I'm not sure. Maybe a lot. This glaze just turned a fascinating shade of gold. And I think if a little luster dust is good, more is better. Luster dust is frequently added to cocktails and other drinks, as well as frostings and cake glazes. I can link this package in the description below. This little package contains every available color of edible luster dust. And I think we can unmold the cake now. Oh no. I guess sometimes, despite your very best efforts, a bundt cake can still stick. I'm going to try to replace this part. I'm going to brush on this glaze, and if I think the cake needs it just for looks, I might make a second glaze with confectioner's sugar, because that will turn the glaze white. Yes, I think I will let this cake cool completely, and then I will make a white glaze to put on top of the cake. And while we wait for this cake to cool completely, I'm going to clean out one of the fireplaces and put the ashes on my lilac hedge. Wood ash is a wonderful soil amendment. It benefits lilacs by raising soil pH to an alkaline level, which they prefer, promoting better blooms and potentially increasing their size and vigor. Wood ash contains valuable nutrients like potassium, calcium, and other trace minerals that can enhance plant health and flowering. I spread wood ash on my lilacs at least 3 times each year. And now that the fireplace ashes have been cleaned out and the lilacs have been fed, I need to vacuum the stairs. I can link the vacuum I'm using here in the description below. It sucks up pet hair better than any vacuum I've ever owned. For this cake, I've decided that we should do a white glaze in addition to the clear glaze, just for the sake of looks. And this will be a very, very simple glaze, just confectioner's sugar and a little milk. That tiny amount of milk was too much milk. I need more confectioner's sugar just to thicken up the works. And on it goes.
See, that looks fabulous.
Lizette is here. She thinks this looks fabulous. And I will not argue that point. And while this glaze sets up, I'm going to bring in some firewood, start a fire in the dining room fireplace, and then you and I can enjoy cake with tea. now the moment I have been waiting for. Afternoon tea with a gingerbread cake. And I'm going to use this black chai tea from Tierra Farm. When I measure tea, I always measure 1 teaspoon for each cup, plus 1 teaspoon for the pot. And I let the tea steep for anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to take off my apron, and then I will meet you in front of the fire. Taste test time. This cake is absolutely fabulous in every way possible. It's dense, but it's quite moist, and it is loaded with flavor from the cloves and the allspice and the cinnamon, and what else was in here? Oh yes, ginger. So it definitely tastes like gingerbread, but in bundt cake form. Another cake I'd like to try for afternoon tea is apple cider donut bundt cake. I love apple cider donuts. I imagine I would love the cake. And again, I will put the recipe for this gingerbread bundt cake in the description box below. A sip of tea. This chai black tea goes perfectly with the bundt cake. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we made this cake, and we ironed all of the dinner napkins so we can be prepared for dinner parties. We emptied the fireplace, we used the ashes to fertilize the lilacs, and we vacuumed the stairs, which were in much need of vacuuming, I might add. And if I don't say it often enough, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day in order to spend just a few moments with me. I really cherish your company. I will have another video for you on Friday, and until then, please treat yourself very, very well. Please try this cake, and I will see you next time. Bye for now, friends.